This is the app at playoffpicture.com. To look at the Jets-Patriots game, we first want to set the conference to AFC. We could set the division to AFC East, but since we're only interested in the Jets and the Patriots, we're going to use the selected matchup feature. We select the Jets and Patriots, and then we only have their games in the game grid. We want to toggle this back to look at standings, and we want to set projected results, and that way it'll show us the standings will be interactive with the way we select the games. The app does project outcomes for the unplayed games. It uses a strength of victory algorithm, which is not a bad starting place, but well, don't bet on it. There's a lot more to it, obviously. The Monday night game is really a big game. The winner will have a one-game lead in the division race, and if the Jets win, they'll have locked up the head-to-head tiebreaker, which would effectively give them a two-game lead. The game is in Boston. The home team is always listed first in the game box, and the playoff picture sees this as the winner of this game winning the division, and you can see if we toggle it back and forth and then go over and look in the standings columns, it's rewarded. It's actually not going to decide the division, right? They're going to play that game, and then they're going to play the rest of the games and see who really wins. So if we scroll over to week 17, we can get a look at the rest of the games. This small d by the Dolphins in week 14 indicates that at this point, according to projected games, the Dolphins can't win this division. Now, a capital D would indicate that they had locked up the division. The W's work the same way. A small W indicates that they can't win a wild card, whereas a capital W would mean that they had locked in at least a wild card at that point. The H stands for a home field throughout the playoffs. A B stands for a first-round bye in the playoffs, and the big X means mathematical elimination. The games, both the Jets and the Patriots play the Dolphins at home, and they both play the Bills. The Dolphins could be a factor, but it's pretty hard to believe the Jets and Patriots can't beat them if they need the game, and realistically it's unlikely the Bills will beat either of them if the game is important. On the other hand, they both play the Bears in Chicago, and the Bears are in a division race, and although the playoff app thinks that the Patriots and Jets will win those games, that's a long way from settled. I mean, a lot of people would certainly disagree with that. And finally, in week 15, we got the Jets playing the Steelers in Pittsburgh, and the Patriots playing the Packers in Foxborough, and those are both really competitive games. There's a lot of really competitive games here. It's a really good race. There are three factors, I think: the Monday night game, how the two teams do against the Bears in Chicago, and then finally these week 15 games. The Patriots have home field advantage in the Monday night game and the week 15 game, so you probably have to give them a little edge, but there's, again, a lot of really competitive games in this race. This is a pretty quick analysis. You can obviously go a lot deeper at playoffpicture.com for this or for any other race in this year's playoffs. If you get there, you might want to bookmark it. It doesn't show up very well on search engines. Enter the URL as a search string, playoffpicture.com. Playoff picture is one word, all lowercase. You have to scroll down a little bit to get the app, and it's a free site.